Hi friend, Megan here. Wanted to say thanks for joining me today. We're going to work on feet, and I wanted to say also just a quick apology. I did a couple of videos and didn't get them uploaded. They kind of broke halfway through. I'm working on a sound system and a video system, so the other thing is I no longer have my beautiful office here, so I'm going to be looking for a new place to film. And luckily I live in the beautiful Andes, and it turns out there's lots of incredible places outside. So hopefully once I get a camera set up and some sound, I'll be able to do that for you, and they'll be a little prettier. All right, so feet. Here they are. Feet. I know I tell you almost every single video that this is a really important body part. This one also very important. Chinese medicine says that the bottom of your foot, your whole foot, is covered in nerve endings that connect to all the rest of your body. So you can handle a lot of health and wellness just from giving your feet some love. So here's my foot. Putting my foot on the internet, sort of slightly awkward, I'm not gonna lie. So I used to have chronic foot pain, and my toes were about twice the size, and they were way stubbier. So this will help with a lot of foot swelling, as well as getting more blood flow. It'll help with cold, clammy feet, also sweaty feet, because it'll just help everything flush out of the foot. The foot and the hands, those are the two big exit points in Chinese medicine, where they say the meridians kind of flush things out, and that's why they sweat. I am also a pregnant lady, and pregnant ladies always complain about swollen feet and ankles. I have some theories about that I can share as I go, but let's get into this. So, as with anything, I do my best to warm it up a bit. Get a little bit of blood flowing just from some friction. Feet look so weird, don't they? All right. So, I like to call this the juicer. It's like juicing an orange on the heel. And I just use some friction and heat to warm it up, and I'm squeezing a little bit too as I'm going, just to get some movement in there. And just sort of feel around too. You'll start to feel around for hard spots, things that you think are bone and I swear are not. So, warm them up. All right. So, I like to pull on my toes, and you can hear that little click. Mine are pretty loose, so they'll kind of click right away. Yours might not. This toe, I like to give it a good circle and also pull it. There's another incredible pressure point right here, right in the tip toe of the foot, that I stick my knuckle in and I dig. And a lot of times you'll be surprised that there's a lot of pain there. And it's very intense, and it can be a little bit grainy. So they say that this guy is your head. So if you have a headache, I call this one the brain massage. All right, so I always get those toes just kind of pulled out so I elongate, because like I said, compression, putting in shoes, having them squeezed all the time, I do my best to open and stretch. So then the next one is that I interlace my fingers in my toes. Now you might not be able to do this. Toes are supposed to be very flexible. You'll see babies open their toes, and as we put them in shoes and tighten them up, they lose that flexibility. So I interlace, and I'm squeezing down into the foot, and I'm also squeezing them together with my fingers. So you can roll them around a bit, and you can tug on them together. You can also move them back, so you can see that I'm stretching them back, and then I'm stretching them forward. So you may not have the range of motion, that's okay, but this is the amount that a foot should go. All of these little joints have lots of space to be able to move all the way back and all the way forward. You might hear some cracks, and you can push down as well and really squeeze down into the bottoms as they get more flexible, which is pretty great. And then I also take my hands and I squeeze them like this. So I'm putting some pressure. Sometimes you'll see like a big old bunion where the bone actually starts to grow out this way. This helps to realign the foot by squeezing, and I get a little crack right in here, and they say that this is the shoulder. So a lot of times people's shoulders are really tight as well. And then head, sinuses. So if you're ever having sinus issues, sometimes if you, as you can see, I'm just sort of wiping and pulling down. Feet look so weird. I also do some drawing, and feet are really, really hard to draw because there's so many tiny little articulations and curves of the feet, and depending on what angle, they look really strange. All right, so let's roll. You can hear my little ankle crack. Let's roll the foot around. As you can see, I'm just sitting with one foot up. If this is not comfortable, that's okay. You can lean it down a little bit further. You can bring it back a little bit further. Find a place that's comfortable that you're able to do this. All right, so let me show you the bottom of my foot. This whole pad is the lungs and heart. So we can do some piano keys on it, and we can also squeeze in. And I'm not gonna lie, this one, I'll show you on the table, is really good if you press into the floor and you roll it around like this. And you can really, oh, feel those cracks and pops. Dig it into the ground, and you can roll it back and forth. And then I really like to stretch it over here and stretch it back. But this roll feels so good on the ball of the foot. All right. So that's how we're going to do the heart and lungs and the pad of the foot, the ball of the foot. So then we're going to move to this area, which is that little arch. And they say that this is where the organs are. So this one, I use the scraping knuckles, and I go up and down, and I get some movement in there. Now this one's hard to get deep, so I can show you one to go a little deeper, where I'm actually gonna lean, you can see my belly is getting bigger. I'm gonna lean my forearm into it, and I'm gonna put a lot of weight, and I can really dig in, which feels amazing. And I want you to really pay attention to how it feels and where those little knots are, okay? And then a lot of times I'll use my thumb, and I will go along this whole side, and then I'll use these fingers and I'll go along this whole side. And I usually get a little block right here at the top of, so if there's a little knot or pain, I sometimes dig in a little bit more and give it a little more time. And then I'm also having a lot of stuff that I'm working on my heels. Okay, so let's go on the other side. I'm just gonna squeeze in. So this is the spine area, and it's surprising how much that hurts. The other thing you can do is you can do the knuckle, and you can wipe and dig. But this one takes strong hands. The first time I found out about foot massage was in Thailand. There was this little old man with the strongest hands ever, and I'm just gonna kind of move things around now as I'm talking. So feel free to just kind of wipe your foot, touch your foot. But anyways, back to my first foot massage. A little Asian Thai man they have these acupressure, reflexology, what are they, sticks with like little points in them, and he would stick them into points, and I swear I was starting to cry. I had never felt such intense pain on my feet, and I was like, what are you doing to me? And he spent about a half an hour on both of my feet. No, like 15 minutes and 15 minutes, a half an hour for both. And when I got up, I felt like I had new feet. I felt like I had never walked on healthy feet in my whole life. And everything felt lighter. I realized my headache was gone. I was lighter. like in my footsteps, and I felt like I was walking on a cloud. So I realized just how powerful it was to take care of your feet. All right, so since we've been working on this one, I also want to show you something that you can do on the edge of a lot of times I use stairs, and I'll actually, let's see if I can, I'm on the edge of the table, I'll roll my foot on the edge of a table while I'm standing up. So I don't have that to show you right now, but I can really help to get in that pad area. So since we did toes, pad, and the inner part, we're going to move to heels. So I like to call this one the Vise Grip. I grab my hands here, I clamp, and I'm actually squeezing my heel. Now this one's a little bit hard to do on your own, but if you have a friend or a partner that's willing to touch your feet, this one feels incredible. If somebody really clamps down, and you want to clamp down right where the foot meets the bottom, right here, and there's that little ridge that goes the whole way around where the side of the foot meets the base of the foot, and right there is usually where we carry a lot of tension. So I either do the Vise Grip on it and squeeze down, and I'm just smushing it. But like I said, another person doing this, you will fall in love with them because it's the best feeling in the world. All right, another one for the heels. So this guy gets locked up, the Achilles gets a little too tight, and this is where a lot of stuff flushes out from the hips. So I'm taking my thumb, and I'm grinding down, and I actually grab the other side too to get more pressure. And I'm moving it, let's see if I can show you, this way. Now it feels really, really good. You can also do a little banging on the bottom of the foot, side of the hand. All right, let's see if we can get this up and going again. All right, so then I switch my foot and I sit like this, and then I can get the other side. And I'm digging my thumb in, and I'm grabbing with my, I'm digging my knuckle in, and I'm grabbing with my thumb on the other side so I can squeeze it so I can get this whole area. So there's a lot more that you can do with feet, a lot more, but those are the ones I do about every day. So I'm just going to show you one foot, and then you guys can rewind. I think it was to like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, to go through it on the other side. So then I always go back to my toes, just so you know, and I see if I can get new clicks. Once you get it moving, sometimes those clicks will come. Oh, okay, one more. I use the side, and I scrape and push down the whole way up my ankle to that top of the foot. Yeah? Which helps some of the blood vessels. Now, that is our foot pressure point, self-massage, self-care, love. I want you to stand on your feet now before you do the other one, and I want you to feel the difference. I want you to look at your feet, and I want you to look at the difference. Swelling goes down in feet really, really fast. These are one of the most satisfying ones because you feel immediate results, and you can usually see immediate results. You do this for a week or two, and you'll be like, my foot is smaller, my toes are longer, and I have way less pain. And then you'll notice that there's better blood flow, less cold feet, and it helps honestly flush out the whole rest of the body. I kind of think about it like when you're brushing hair and you've got knots in your whole hair, that if you start up at the top and you brush down, it's just gonna go and get stuck and you're gonna have a big knot somewhere. But if you start at the bottom and you brush up, it clears out. So I think of that with the foot, that if you start with your feet and your hands, and you start at the foot and you will give it some place to open up and for things to flush out, then by the time we move up to the legs, it'll have a place to go and it'll empty out. And so that's why I always come back to my feet and my hands. I always come back to like, just make sure they do honestly a ton of work. We're on them all day. They're taking us everywhere we need to go, and we kind of forget about them. We smash them into uncomfortable shoes, and then we wonder why our feet hurt at the end of the day. So this one's great. Another thing that you can do for feet is Epsom salves in a warm salt bath with your feet. Soak them. It doesn't take that long. And then do the massage after once they're all warmed up. But you'll notice a big, big difference. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, that since I started doing this bodywork stuff, as well as connection with some self-care, some healing, self-love, and some dietary and lifestyle changes, we kind of went big. But I started this all really like little by little, slowly, that my nails stopped having bumps in them. I used to have really bumpy nails. They got clearer. My skin got clearer. Same thing with my toenails, like if you have sort of cloudy or even like fungusy feet, that all of this stuff is interconnected, and by doing this it can be a huge support. I'm not going to tell you it's going to heal it overnight, because I do think that the body is this incredibly complex system, that there's no kind of quick fix, but I will say of all of the things that I have done personally, this one has been the most profound, and I see the most changes. I have the least amount of pain, so it's definitely worthwhile to take care of the body that we've got. So tell me how your feet feel. There's some more that I would like to get into at a later date, some deeper stuff, but let's start there, and let me know if you're seeing results, if you have less sweaty feet, if you have less pain, if you see the swelling go down. I would love to hear it in the comments below. Subscribe, share if you would like. That would be great, and have a super wonderful rest of your day. I love you very much. Take care.